Hello and welcome to another episode of the Economic Insider with Garofola Analytics. I am your host, Nino Garofola, and today we are going to be going over the employment numbers for March that were released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, when the report was released this morning, we saw an increase of 103,000 jobs for March, which was a little bit disappointing. And as you might expect with disappointing economic news, there was a little bit of hand-wringing of the Wall Street types, and they were wondering if this is a slowdown in demand or where the economy is going long term. But when you really dive into these numbers, it's probably best to take this report with the perception of February alike. So the revised numbers for February was a total of 326,000 jobs gained for the month, which is a 3-year high. Also, when you take into account what sectors had big sprees in February, you will also notice that they were noticeably slower in March. Now, my examples are the top two industries as far as job increases for the month of February was construction, which added 61,000 jobs, and retail, which added 47,000 jobs. Now, both of these industries had slight monthly declines in the month of March, which tells us that to get a better picture of the job employment numbers, you really need to look at both March and February together. And once you do this, you can actually see some pretty interesting things. Now, taking a look at our projections over the last 2 months and compare them with what actually happened over those last 2 months, you see a difference of a mere 9,000 jobs, which is essentially the difference in a reporting error. So what's the larger point with this? The larger point is that the economy is still going along at a solid pace and the pace that we have expected. And the bottom line is this adds very little to our view of what's going on in the future. And we think, especially considering the nice wage gains that we saw in March, that the Federal Reserve will view things similarly, mainly that employment is strong, slightly tightening, but that the overall economy is very healthy. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Economic Insider. I'm Nino Garofola. Thanks for tuning in.